I want to talk about a concept briefly called, or what I call, energetic timestamps with your inner children and your teens. And we're going to get into that deeper when we get into parallel lives and working within our Akashic records. But when I have been into clients' energy fields, okay, one of the reasons that I think that I subconsciously changed career trajectories with becoming a clinical psychologist opposed to becoming the spiritual mentor that I am today is because psychologists and therapists, who I love, I think this is fantastic, and this is where you need to begin with these things, okay? You are healing memories from PTSD and trauma from childhood and teens. Okay, that's the first layer. That's healing the mental body, if you will. This is you learning how to forgive yourself, or how to release these heavy emotions that are attached to these memories. You can rewire how you were treated and come in and put in a new memory of how you would have wanted to be treated in that situation, and doing a reframe. Sometimes we don't always remember things exactly how they happened because a lot of years can pass, and children and teens see things in different ways than we do as adults oftentimes. And so a lot of things that need to be done in the mental body. But then when we get into our spiritual body, okay, this is actually where we start to understand that these inner children and these teens are actually different consciousness within us, because time is not linear. They're still alive and breathing in their time stamps. Okay, when I say time stamps, let me explain this process a little bit. Okay, so I'll go into people's Akashic records and I'll lead them through a heart meditation, and we go into the etheric realms and we actually meet with their inner children in real time. My puppo was backward sneezing over here, so if you heard that noise. Okay, so we are actually talking to their consciousness in real time, okay? And what an energetic timestamp is your inner children and teens think that something is happening over and over again. So I've often been in through their records to meet with their children or teens, and something is happening with your parents or your guardians or your friends, and they think that it's happening over, they're like caught in a movie, okay, and it's playing over and over, kind of like Groundhog Day. And what we come in to do is actually show them, like, hey, you can actually step outside of this movie and you can actually see that it's just a memory okay, that you have been caught in. But at any time you can step outside of it, and the energy releases that happen when we pick those inner children up or we move those teens out of the movie projection is, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize there was an adult version of me, somebody in the future. Okay, they thought that they were still 7 or 9 or 12 or 15 years old, which they are in their time and space, but they were not consciously aware that you are there, okay, trying to lead and guide and help heal them. And some of them are. So, and I won't say that a blanket statement, because people who do like very deep soul healing, and like you are on this path right now, like a lot of your inner children are going to realize that you are there. Okay, they can hear you even though you may not be able to hear them. This is usually people who are not as deep into these esoteric topics and these levels of awareness that have not connected into those super deep facets of self yet. And that's totally okay too. Even if you have some inner children that are in these timestamps, it's okay. Okay, you're going to pull them out. Okay, even if you are not fully going in there like I do with clients, of like literally pulling them out, you continuing to work through these layers in your psyche and through your energy field, and working through like the discovery prompts that we're talking about, you are bringing awareness to them of like, hey, these things are not happening anymore. That's the whole work that we have been doing together through the central nervous system, the emotions, the subconscious mindset reprogramming, the self-concept. You are doing that at a level where you don't always need to go in directly and pull them out, okay? But that is something that I want you to be able to more consciously do within self, because the same exact thing applies to connecting with your past lives or your different versions. They're not happening in the past. They're all happening at once. Just like your inner children and your teens are still alive and breathing in their different ages, and you can connect with them like this in real time. So when you learn how to do it with your inner children and your teens, then you can just naturally do that with these different timeline versions. It converts, okay? That's actually how I taught myself how to access different timelines within my clients and also within myself. And I wasn't even looking to do that. It was just a natural byproduct. Same thing with you being able to tap into the Akashic records and soul contracts and karmic lessons and different parts of your cosmic history and different incarnations that you've lived. Learning how to reach deep down within yourself through these self-discoveries and releasing PTSD and trauma clears your channels, okay, so that you can hear your higher self and guides and intuition a lot clearer. You can frequency find things within yourself because you have to learn how to read frequencies in order to go to these depths within self, like to find these different incarnations or with other people. And so there's a myriad of benefits that you are getting through going through these parts that are a little bit more difficult to traverse, because one of the reasons is we can only go in as deep with other people as we have been in with self. That includes yourself with your different incarnations. Okay, you go in very deeply with your inner children and teens, so much more of your Akashic records opens up to you because you're used to going to deep frequency levels, which is what you have to do in your Akashic records to access different dimensions and to be able to portal jump and to be able to do all these things that you're really, excited to do. And maybe you don't, maybe that's not your vibe, but I have a feeling that you do want to. That's why you signed up for here. But all of these things have this giant payoff, not only because we're healing our inner children and teens, like that's beautiful as well, like we want to do that, but all of these spiritual gifts that are on this shamanic Akashic level start with you learning how to reach these places within self where these consciousness are still alive and breathing, okay? So and then you're talking to them in real time. It's different than past life regression, okay? I've never really called myself a past life regressionist because when you're saying that, you're really going in and viewing a past incarnation or a different incarnation, and you're getting a recall of the memories, okay? This is a whole different thing. This is actually when you can go in and speak with that incarnation because that is going to provide you with a lot more medicine and insight and guidance and wisdom, because now we can tangibly work things out together. They can actually mentor you. You can mentor them. You are able to open up all of these different facets to really expand into these next levels of multidimensionality. And the whole reason I'm saying this, back to where we started, because these are energetic timestamps that they are in sometimes, that we need to pull them out of our inner children and teens, we also need to realize that a lot of these emotions and these beliefs are not yours right now. They are your inner children and teens that are experiencing them in their time and space, and through you doing all this self-healing work and loving yourself radically and working through all of these subconscious mind programming things, you're actually pulling them out of those time and spaces and integrating them into the new reality with you. But it's not your stuff anymore. You have the tools, you have the resources. That's why you are here right now listening to me talk about you're the higher self now. Okay? You're the guardian, you're the protector, you're the guide. You are helping them with their things. We still need to process it, okay, because you're one and the same being, but there's a little bit of a detachment that comes with that, and you are able to support them on a completely different next level. Okay? You're able to say, hey, let me help you, okay? And then when you can detach from it happening in your current reality, that's when you make these really big shifts.